Hey there, everyone. What's up? I'm Lady Calamere, and I welcome you all to my channel. It has come to my attention that a lot of people who are viewing my channel is not subscribed. So you can do me a favor and subscribe because it lets me know I'm doing a great job. And I'm not getting paid for this, so I'm pumping these out for free. If you don't have a YouTube channel, well, it's easy to make one. You don't have to make videos. You can have a YouTube account and never make videos in your whole life, and it's free. Unless you want to pay for premium. Anyways, let's talk about an Aztec goddess. This is my 312th presentation. It will be on Xipe Totec. Xipe. It's pronounced Xipe Totec. What does it mean? It means our Lord, the flayed one. The flayed one, yes, the one without skin. And yes, flayed, totally peeled off. We see him in iconography, like Xipe Totec in the Codex Borgia. You'll see a man, but you'll see like a man but with hands hanging off his arms. That's actually him wearing the skin of a sacrificial victim. Yep. This people maybe get squeamish when I talk about this, is that it's some of the sacrifices involved, of course, pulling out the heart, but sometimes being flayed alive. And they would do it so perfectly. And they would wear it. So you think of Leatherface on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know how you see him where he's wearing a mask of someone's flesh? Yeah, that's what's going on here. Why would he do that? Well, you see, he is of the corn. And they believe that sacrifice was important. You see, in ancient Mexico, you had 2 seasons. They didn't see winter, spring, summer, fall. They saw the rainy season, the lush season, and then the dry season. So during the summer and spring, you got the rainy season, and during the winter, the dry season. So, of course, the spring, when, the spring equinox would be very important to this god. And I'm not saying they called it the spring equinox, a rainy season. And his season is spring. So, the rainy seasons. And they believe that sacrifice was necessary. All right? So, we look at the corn, right? And I already talked about a corn god already. Cynthia. But when you look at the corn, you take the husk off. You chop the husks off. That's like chopping the head off. And then you peel it. You flay it, right? You peel it. That's the representation of what's going on here. He's flayed. He also wears, sometimes you'll see like an image of him sitting, and you'll see like a double face, like white. And that double face is him wearing a dead skin mask. I'm thinking of the Slayer song now. Dead skin mask. Dance. No, stop. Listen to their hollow screams. The dead have taken my soul. Temptations lost all control. Dance with the dead in my dreams. I love that song. But that's what's going on here. Now, the Xipe Totec, he's a god of agriculture. And this is actually a statue of him. I should have gotten my little Aztec wheel, and I'll go get it. And I should have gotten it. I'll get it. He's actually represented on the Aztec wheel. So I'll be right back when I get that. And I'm also going to get, you know what? Screw it. I'll have to do without. I should have gotten it because it's all the way downstairs, and I'm going to have to go all the way downstairs, and this is a big place. But he's a god of especially the seasons, and he's a god of spring, he's a god of corn, he's a god of agriculture. He's a god of sacrifice, but he's also a god of goldsmith, but he's also a god of disease. Yeah. You see, the priests, this didn't always happen. I know it was the warrior priest who would, they use an obsidian blade, which is Tezcatlipoca. That means smoking mirrors, so basically obsidian. And they would use the blade to cut out the heart, and, so the warrior priest would take a bite of the heart. And they would dance around in the flesh suit. And sometimes even make a soup, a soup out of the sacrificial victims. And not everyone would eat the soup. It would just be for the priests. So did a little bit of cannibalism there. Not that they were like all cannibals and stuff. But they would, especially prisoners of war or their captives, they would use for this sacrifice. So anyways, there was an there in 2000, was it actually was recently, 7 years ago, 2018, there was an excavation done, right, in Puebla, Mexico. They found a temple that was dedicated to Xipe Totec. And this temple was dated from around 1000 CE and to about 1260 CE. And it belonged to the Tehuacan people. I hope I'm saying that right, Tehuacan. And they were conquered and absorbed into the Aztec Empire. Because the Aztecs, they absorbed, or other tribes and nations joined them and became the Aztec nation. And the Xipe Totec was recognized as one of the major gods. In fact, he is called the Red Tezcatlipoca. So you got Quetzalcoatl, the white Tezcatlipoca, right? You have Tezcatlipoca, who was the black Tezcatlipoca, the Tezcatlipoca. And then you have the red Tezcatlipoca. Who is the Xipe Totec. And then you have the blue Tezcatlipoca, who is Huitzilopochtli. So, just some food for thought on Xipe Totec. But Xipe Totec was nourished by blood. His color, of course, is red. I mean, he represents the fluid of life. The the fluid that keeps us alive and feeds our organs is blood. And I'm not telling you to go around and go sacrifice. No. But today, people do skin sacrifices. They do it to Santa Muerte. And what I mean by skin sacrifice is tattoo. And they offer, so if she does something great, they offer a piece of their skin, like maybe their arm or their leg, and have, or their back. It could be small, large. And some people would still do tattoos, and they can get tattoos of Xipe Totec, or they can get a tattoo that looks, and do it in the name of Xipe Totec. Like, oh, I'm going to get this nice design. I'm going to do it in the name of Xipe Totec and take the pain, you know what I mean? And take the skin sacrifice. Some people can offer some of the blood. So let's talk about some offerings to him. And thank goodness human sacrifice has been abolished. Okay. And things that you can offer him is your blood, but be careful about this. I don't want you to cut yourself or get hurt, or get infections. Corn. Boiled corn, roasted corn, corn on the cob. And anything made from corn is a good thing for him, like cornbread, corn cakes. So we can offer him things made with corn syrup, cornmeal, we can offer him things that, like popcorn of your choice. So we can offer him that. We can offer him like Cracker Jack caramel corn. It could be fancy. It could be dipped in chocolate, and chocolate's always a good offering for these deities. It could be dipped in fudge, dipped in peanut butter and look all fancy, or just simple plain butter and salt or nothing. So you can give him that. And to represent blood, if you don't want to do that, you can pinch yourself lightly and give him a little bit of your saliva, just to give you that little, like, something like owie, and go give him some of, because that's your fluid, and you're not spitting on him. You're just putting your finger on your tongue and just wiping it. Red wine can take the place of blood. Also, dragon's blood liquid. Look it up. Dragon blood liquid resin, the stuff that is edible. And you can give it to him. And I swear, when you put it on, I've already did a presentation on it. It is really good. It does serve a purpose. Copal is always a good offering. Copal, black copal, white copal, of burning it and giving it to him is a good offering. Sweets are always good. And you can make him tortillas. You can get you tortillas and fill it up with good stuff, vegetarian, and you can make him something like that, corn chips. nachos. You can give them nachos with cheese. Why not? Make it simple, keep it simple, or make it, fancy and elegant. So those are just some of the things that you can give to this God. So Xipe Totec represents the sacrifice that you make to make things grow. The toil, your work, your sacrifice, your to put food on your table is a sacrifice these days. I mean, working 2 jobs to support your family, working hard, you're bruising yourself, you're sweating, sometimes you get cut, but it's always a sacrifice. And if you absolutely get caught, right, Slice, you can say, hey, Xipe Totec for you, or to any of your deities. But we'll talk about Xipe Totec. So let's say, oh, I got a paper cut. I can just think of Xipe Totec and say, Xipe Totec, here, have some. It's this is the sacrifice I'm doing for my labor. And you can be sitting on your ass all day, but working, sometimes it's not easy just looking at papers and making phone calls and dealing with people and everything. And you get caught, you give it to him, You come home smelling, and you can say, but that's not stink. That's the smell of hard work. Which is very true. So, so when you look at the another codex, what is it? I'm trying to think. The Night Stalker. The name of the Night Stalker. Okay. Ramirez, right? Yeah, so Ramirez. I got an ADD brain. So when you look at the Ramirez Codex, he was born of a reddish ruddy color all over himself, which gives him the title of Red Tezcatlipoca. Now the skin he wore was like yellow or golden in color, and his own body parts or that was exposed was shown red. So you're gonna see like the yellow body parts with all these like dots, and that's flayed skin. And these priests would like wear them, and they would fall off them as they were dancing, and they would start eventually stinking and rotting, and yeah, death. So yeah. Now how Leatherface had to get a new face all the time because it would just rot and stuff, and then he had to get a new face. I'm a horror fan, so yeah. And remember, he is the flayed one, or Lord, the flayed one. And it was said to, when Quetzalcoatl brought corn to the, and Cintiotl, Xipe Totec, in order to make it all work, he offered himself as a sacrifice, flayed his skin, his blood, and offered himself for the corn to grow. Basically, he sacrificed himself. He's a sacrificed one. Yet he receives the sacrifice. So he sacrificed himself so that the crops may grow. He willingly gave himself up. And he still lives on. His mother and father, well, his parents is Ometeotl. So his parent is Ometeotl. Ometeotl. I hope I'm saying that right. His siblings I mentioned them before. His brothers, Quetzalcoatl, Tezcatlipoca and Huitz, Huitzilopochtli. I hope I'm saying this right. He was also called Xipe Totec, one of his name. I should have wrote it down. I wouldn't even be able to pronounce it. I think the first word of it is Yoali, but I think it's Loana, something like that, but it means night drinker. Literally night drinker. And this may have, possibly have referred to the seasonal nightly rains. The rains at night. Not that he's, drink up the booze at night, let's party. But yeah, this was meant for the success of the people, the nation, and life itself, for the success of the crops. But another interpretation of it means to drink in a slight type of intoxication, to get buzzed. And the Aztec priests were occasionally known to be intoxicated for certain rituals. So it could be some relation to Xipe Totec, the rites at night. Let's have a little booze. So why not? Offer him some tequila. When it comes, go back to your offering. So offer him some tequila. Offer him... You don't have tequila? That's okay. You can offer him booze. And see what he likes. Maybe your Xipe Totec may like a beer. Maybe a Mexican beer. Or a good whiskey. Maybe a stiff drink. Alexa, what type of alcohol is made for corn to drink? Really?
Corn whiskey is the type of alcohol made for corn to drink. It is an American liquor produced primarily from corn. Whiskey is distilled from a fermented blend of corn, barley, and other grains and typically aged in charred white oak casks. While the exact recipe and
Alexa, stop. So yeah, you can give him whiskey made from corn. So yeah, so you can give him that. So, okay. Now, one of the things that he liked was gold. And he dealt with goldsmiths, right? But stealing gold was, in general, a slight, an affront, and disgust, especially to this particular god. So don't steal gold. And if you were caught stealing gold, guess what? You'd be in prison. And just wait to what's coming. You would most likely be sacrificed to Xipe Totec, and you were skinned alive during the festivities. Oops. Better not steal that gold. I would say, oops, too bad you were a pedophile. Oh, I'm wicked. Seriously. So, yeah. And there's another place where sites where gold was mined, and they were called the place of the terrible god, Xipe Totec, where he was ferocious with that. And the gold was excavated and gathered through panning, panning for gold. And the gold dust was then stored in containers, hollow containers. And these containers were a tribute, a measurement to describe the tribute, the amount of tribute that the Aztec demanded for this god. So, and sometimes, the prisoners of war, sometimes they were given toy weapons to go against a warrior with a weapon to show you really didn't have, you know, you really didn't have much chance. And then, of course, you were defeated. And they were ordered, like a little wooden sword, maybe with a little obsidian blade, a pig sticker towards an actual weapon. And then you were sacrificed. Or so you were tied to an obsidian obelisk, an obsidian again, Tezcatlipoca, and forced to fight an Aztec warrior or different warriors, and you just didn't. You were screwed. Some sacrificial victims were put to death with arrows, and the outpouring of the spilling of blood was to symbolize the rain, the life, spilling of the life force. And the Aztecs saw that as symbolism that was desired for their crops to grow. Of course, the hearts and skin would be removed, and the rituals were complete. So it was a pretty horrible way to go, and it was a pretty bloody sacrifice, and the priests and the young men who took an oath to Xipe Totec and pledged themselves wore these skin suits and danced. And sometimes these garments, these skin garments, the meat suits, had either, like, they would rot away or until a month went and gone. Afterwards, these skins, what did they do with these skins? What did they do with these rotted pieces of skin? Well, they buried it at his temple. So, yeah. So, Xipe Totec sacrificed himself and then was given sacrifice of life so that life can continue. Is Xipe Totec still prayed to? Yes. Is he still worshipped? Yes. Despite Christianity coming and did way worse than what the Aztecs did. Way worse. Trust me. In fact, it was so bad that the nations that wanted the Aztecs gone, the people wanted the Aztec gone, realized, they had it better. You didn't know what you had till it was gone, and then they wanted the Aztecs to reign again. That's how bad it was. But anyways, let's give you an idea. He's also a god of renewal and rebirth and regeneration. The cycle of the life, the nature of life, the wheel of life. He represented the transformative power of Mother Earth, nature. So, and he was a major god. And some people have forgotten about him because they did. But I'm bringing him back. I'll bring him into the forefront. And no, we don't have to do. No, I'm glad that's abolished. So those, what they see with like those feathers on him in the Codex Borgia is actually leaves, like these long leaves from this white tree. And I'm just trying to remember it, but it wasn't Quetzal feathers. It was these white, from this white tree. So he was important to farmers. Farmers would, and still would and will invoke his blessings before planting crops. So, yeah. So, what else do I want to talk about him? He was not only a god of agriculture and rebirth and regeneration, but also one of war. Sometimes he just didn't play nice with others. But anyways, yeah. So, yeah, war. So the festival, I can't even pronounce the word. It's a big long word. It starts with a T and ends with an I just don't know how to pronounce it. It was celebrated in March and dedicated to this god. I know the word, what it means. I'm sorry, I can't even say it, and I don't even remember it. But it, I was trying to tlakasipe. I It just means the flaying of men, the skinning of men. So yeah. So he's a god of transformation, of changing and renewal. So he's associated with the spring equinox. And we can sing, we can dance to him, and we can, in our visualization, peel away the old so that the new may come. We can clean out our home to get rid of the old things or broken things, because you can't bring in new things and better things if you don't get rid of the old, right? I told this friend that it's not my friend anymore, but he's a big time hoarder. I said, listen, you can't get anything nice and you're no nice furniture, nothing, until you get rid of all this stuff that no longer serves you. It's broken. And he goes, I'll fix it. I said, you've been wanting to fix it for 7 years. Give me a break. What about this pillow? It's that stuffing is coming out. Oh, I'll sew it. How long has it been like this? Oh, 6 years. I just didn't have time. And like, he wouldn't get rid of anything. Cracked plates, broken cups. I mean, he literally have jars and jars of broken things and containers of messed up things instead of. And then he was complaining he didn't have anything nice. Well, you can't have anything nice, and so you get rid of the old. You just can't. You can't have growth. You can't have renewal when you're all around everything that's broken and dead and useless. And that no longer serves you. I was trying to explain, you can't. It's like trying to drink out of a cup with no bottom. There's no way. So getting rid of the old so that you can have new. All right? You can't eat the corn until you peel it. You have to take the husk off. You have to peel it. Right? But you can't eat the corn. Even if you cook it in its own peels and the husk, you still can't bite into it until you peel it. It's impossible. You know how you peel the wax off the cheese and you get this big thing of cheese? You can't eat the wax. You have to peel it. So flaying it, you know, to peel away what you cannot use or consume or no longer or does not serve you anymore. That's his theme, to peel away and to nourish. And you see his name, Xipe Totec. Yes, this is an actual beautiful statue. Beautiful. And look at that. So that's what you need to do and take away from that is renewal. So, is he approachable? He can very well be. But remember, there's some things sometimes he may not be. So, Xipe Totec is dealing with illumination. He's dealing with light. He is seeds of creation. He deals with beginnings. And what else? His animal is a quail. And let me go get that picture of him, and I'll be right back. I probably should get the Aztec wheel too. I actually got a shirt of it. You'll see. Whoa. Excuse me, Mr. Joker and Sir Mew Mew. Oop, gotta get through. Oh, nope, I don't want. Come on, man. Why did you do that? Why did you put your foot underneath me when I'm walking? Oh, so anyways, I'm back. Wait, I'm back. Let me get it. Where is the picture? So bear with me while I'm looking up the picture. Totec. Xipe Totec. Didn't think I spelled it right. T-O-T-E. T-O-T-E. T-O-T-E-C. Totec. Okay. Here we go. I am looking for images. Really, Mew Mew, you have to pee? Here he is. And you see the flayed skin, sacrificial victim. And this is his skin, his natural skin. And these were not quail feathers, they were from a tree, like a type of white tree. You see how he is. I'm going to look for more images. That is definitely of him. Where is that picture? No, you are not going to do that, mister. Trying to find that picture, another picture of him. Here it is. You see the mask over him, and yeah. This is a sculpture. Whoa! Damn it! Mew Mew! Sir Mew Mew, that was not nice. I had my eyes off for 1 second. And by the way, Xipe Totec is older, is considered the eldest child of the primordial gods. So, Ome Tekutli, Umeatl, and Ome Huatl. Sorry. So he was the eldest of Tezcatlipoca. He was older stop! Than Huitzilopochtli. He was older than Quetzalcoatl. He was older than Tezcatlipoca. So he was the eldest child, firstborn. No, Sir Mew Mew. You are not knocking everything down. This is Sir Mew Mew. He just jumped from my bookshelf onto here. What are you doing? Why? Stop. You're not going to break things. You see my messy place. Everything's coming together. No. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. And I hope you learned something. Please give me a like and subscribe as payment to me. And, you know, if you have something that is still could be usable, but you don't want, think about donating it to a thrift store, a local thrift store. And if it's heavy, you can have them pick it up for free. And it can help people. You know, some of these thrift store. Some of them are for profit, some of them are not exactly for profit, and they help animals and stuff and help people. So think about that. You are annoying. And also, if you're receiving therapy or psychiatry, right? I'll give you some good info. You can ask your therapist or psychiatrist for an emotional support letter for your cat or dog. So let's say you have 3 cats and you're moving to a home that says you can't have any pets. You give them that letter and say, hey, these are my 3 cats or my 3 dogs or my cat and the dog, and I need them for such and such. And they don't have to be service animals, just emotional support animals. Well, federal law trumps state law. Federal law trumps city ordinances. And federal law also trumps the HOA or any apartment rules. So if you were receiving therapy or psychiatry, going to a psychotherapist, you can even get I guess a school a counselor could even do it. You know, if your kid needs a cat, maybe they have ADHD, maybe they're autistic, and they need that dog to help them. Or maybe you need it. Maybe you got PTSD. You can easily get one. And if you're a veteran, you can easily get one from the from your veteran services. So from the VA. Sorry. I just wanted to throw that out to you. But anyways, I hope you have a great evening or day whenever you're watching this. I accept all good offerings, so and good spells and good spirits sent my way, and good prayers from me, my home, and for good luck, for protection, for happiness. Any negativity will be dismantled real quick. Yeah. So anyways, thank you for watching, and as always, blessed be.